Can you follow your heart? Hi, I'm Tonyah Dee, registered dietitian. And since we live in a body, we have a soul, and we are a spirit, it's important to feed and know all three parts in order to follow the heart. The heart I'm speaking about right now is more our spiritual heart. Our spiritual heart is where everything is flowing in and out of. Our body is the house to our heart, but our soul and our spirit is at the center of our heart, and everything's flowing in and out of our heart. So in order to follow the heart, we need to go deep within, past the body, past the soul, down to the spirit, down to the very center of our heart, in order to really hear how to follow your heart. So let's start with how to feed the body so that you can hear the heart. The body needs to be in a state of equilibrium, in a state of balance, because when the body is out of balance, it'll speak kind of loudly. It'll speak over the soul and over the spirit. Our body is our first defense against so many different things. And if it's out of balance or out of equilibrium, then it's going to be talking about that. Like, hey, I feel tired. Hey, I feel like I'm in pain over here. Hey, this, hey, that. So it's really important to listen to the body in order to go deeper and listen to the heart. So if you're out of balance, try to see what you can do. There's a balancing factor for everything. When we're feeling a little too stressed, we can rest. If we're feeling a little low in energy, we can move more and generate energy. We can take a cold shower, and that wakes us up, and we can go and do something hot, which makes us sweat. So seeking these sort of things that counterbalance each other is really helpful for the body, because the body then starts to feel this equilibrium. And when the body feels in that equilibrium, then it's a lot easier to go deeper into the heart, where the soul and the spirit are located. And these things will really give you the clues to what your heart desires. So let's go into the soul. The soul is, our soul is very loud as well. So our body can be loud if it's out of equilibrium, but the soul includes our mind, our thoughts, our emotions, and our will. So with our soul, it's important to learn how to be patient in the body so that you can actually hear your own soul speaking. And then once you can hear your soul speaking, then you can even go deeper into your spiritual heart, where spirit is located, that's where the gems to following your heart are located. So have patience. Try to do practices that help you to hold your body still and have patience with yourself. So if your mind is going crazy and you have too many emotions going on, realize you need to just be patient right now, because your soul is talking to you about how it's experiencing life. And it may take a little bit of your own patience to be kind to your soul, so you can listen to the keys that it's telling you yourself. And as soon as the soul feels listened to, then it calms down and you can get to those deeper areas. So in the mind, let's talk about the mind. Our mind sometimes can get just stuck in the past, and this will keep us not being present, not being able to hear our heart. So the mind will often be stuck in things like a ruminating thought, resentment, fearful thoughts, trying to solve a problem. And it's important actually to have patience with your mind when it's having these repetitive thoughts, like stuck in resentment, stuck in bitterness, stuck in anxiety, stuck in fear, because it's telling you something. Like there's some action step possibly that's going to make your mind feel more at ease. So have patience with your mind when it's ruminating on something or it's saying the same thing over and over again. Seek a deeper meaning. Ask yourself, like, why am I having this feeling? Don't ignore those repetitive thoughts of the mind. Even if they do propel you back to the past, it may mean that there's something in the present moment that's triggering you back to the past, and it's just something for you to have patience with so that you can resolve, so that it gets out of your soul and you can go deeper to your heart. So in the emotions, this is very similar to what happens in our mind. Our emotions will give us clues or cues to how we're experiencing life. And if our emotions are really fearful or really angry, or we have some hatred towards somebody, these clues, these feelings that are clues to a closed heart, you can even feel it. Some emotions will actually close up your heart and it feels very restrictive. And this is a cue to look at that emotion and bring that emotion some self-love, some understanding, some acceptance, some forgiveness. There are emotions that close the heart and there are emotions that open the heart. And ideally, we want to keep an open heart, a free-flowing heart, so that we can continuously hear our heart, so we can follow it. So we're not getting stuck in the past or stuck in one of these feelings that close up the heart, and then all the flowing stops happening and you can't really hear the deeper messages of your heart. Now, in your will, this is where we take action. Our free will is where we make choices and take action. If you're feeling like your body's out of balance, you've lost your patience, you're stuck your mind is stuck resenting something in the past, your emotional cues are, I'm still angry about something, give yourself a personal time out, and not as a punishment. A personal time out you can look at as you're just really taking the time to return to your heart and express to people, I need a time out. I'm not being my best self here. My heart is feeling closed and tight, and I can't really hear what I need to be doing. And you give yourself a personal time out, maybe in nature or more prayer or meditation. Just allow yourself to separate out from the world for a little bit and be more reflective. Go into your soul, have patience with yourself, figure out what's going on so you're not reacting to things. So you basically decrease your drama that you might create in the world, because these things are kind of overreacting in your soul, or they're keeping your heart closed. So a personal timeout is so important, just to return to an open heart, to release things, to understand what your soul is experiencing. So do be active and take the steps to give yourself an enjoyable personal time out whenever you feel like your heart is starting to close and you can't really hear more of this path to love. Okay, so in the spirit, our spirit is located at the very, very, very center of our heart, and our spirit connects to God's spirit, and God's spirit is a higher conscience. It's a revealer. It will reveal to us if we can get to that center of our heart, past our body, in past our soul. We go back to this spirit where it's deeper inside, and things will be revealed to us. What's holding us back possibly will be revealed, or maybe some action step that we need to take right now to open back up our heart, a phone call, a letter, something. The God's Spirit speaks to us in little tiny present moment action steps, and it'll be repetitive too, like, hey, why don't you try not doing this for a while, or why don't you try doing this for a while, or hey, you really need to make amends with this person, just pick up the phone and call them. So there is this place in our heart where we can hear God's will, or a revealer of wisdom for our life. And this is how we learn to follow our heart. It's a practice, and it's also a very purifying practice. We have to continuously kind of purify our heart, release some stuck thoughts. We have to identify the cues, our emotional cues that are closing our heart. And when we can do this, our heart ends up kind of staying open, and we can hear that deeper wisdom for our lives, and it helps us to follow that path. So anyway, I'm Tonyah Dee. This month's theme is follow your heart. And the bottom line is it's really important to learn how to trust your heart, how to trust that voice of wisdom inside your heart, how to know the different voice of the soul and the different voice of the revealer. The revealer can always be trusted to guide you into that next little baby step that will help your heart to stay open. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a very heart-centered month. Again, I'm Tonyah Dee, and I am a registered dietitian, and I'm so thankful that you're part of the community. Stay in touch. Let me know if this was helpful. Have a good day. Go in grace and with grace.